And also, another thing that is supposed to be adjusted to me are going to be my mirrors. My mirrors are properly mounted and secured. They're not broken, cracked, or damaged. They're clean and clear of any stickers. And they are also adjusted to me. Fourth one is going to be my steering wheel. And it's adjusted to me. Now I'm going to do a safe start. Push in. I'm in neutral. ABS light came on, so did my DEF light came on, and they both came on. If my ABS light would have came on, or stayed on, it means I would have to get the truck serviced. So now I'm going to do an in-cab sweep. So I'm going to start with my windshield. My windshield is properly mounted and secured. It's not broken, cracked, or damaged. Huh? Sure. Hey, make sure. Hey, you're going to be over there by AWG, right? Man, there's going to be some hoes down there. I'll pick some up and bring them back here. No, don't tell them that. Just bring them back here. Just bring him back here. Just pick him up.
I got one.
All right, G. Hell yeah. Hey, if they're going to say, hey, is anyone going to pay us? Say, yeah. You know, Conrad got it.
Yeah, that's dumbasses.
Yep. Hey, I'll talk to you in a minute. I'm doing in-cab. All right. So, my windshield wipers. Huh? Alright, my windshield wipers properly mounted and secured, and my windshield wiper blades properly mounted and secured. It's not broken, cracked, or damaged, not cut, torn, or frayed, and they have proper protection against my windshield, and my washer fluid also works. Come on.
Dave, somebody entered it. It's empty. It's empty.
Is it empty?
Probably too many students doing the test over and over.
Every day?
Nope.
Didn't check it today.
Can't be used.
So I'm gonna do my sweep of my gauges. Well, actually, I'm gonna talk about my dashboard and floor. Properly mounted and secured, and it's free and clean of any dirt or debris. So right here is my voltage gauge. I want you guys to get up and see. How do I know it's my voltage gauge? Because it has a battery icon on there. So that is properly working and is rising. It's on between 12 to 14 volts. And this is my oil pressure gauge, properly mounted and secured, and that rises within seconds of me starting my truck. This is my water temperature gauge, and that is also rising within 3 to 5 minutes of a cold start. This right here is my fuel gauge. I have enough fuel for this trip. This is my DEF gauge, and I have more than 1/8 of a tank. My primary and secondary air gauges is properly mounted and secured, and that is also rising to normal operating range, which my governor cutoff should be between 120 and 140 PSI. But I heard it cut off earlier. I didn't tell y'all, but I'm just going to go ahead and fan my brakes down so that way I can get my very first governor cutout. So if you're going to do that, make sure it goes below 100 PSI, okay? I purposely did that because I knew it came on. Just so I remember and know for sure it came on. Boom. I'm going to build it right now.
So it's between 120 and 140?
Between 120 and 140 PSI. Which usually comes right here. Yep. But I want you guys to listen for it.
Primary, secondary.
Primary, secondary. P is for primary, that was my first governor cutout. It came out between 120 and 140 psi. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my in-cab sweep. I'm gonna do my defrost and heater. Boom, my heater works and my defrost works. Shut that off. All right. I did a sweep. I did my that. Okay, now I'm gonna do my lights. That's my left turn signal. This is my right turn signal. That's my high beam indicator. See?
Yep.
And these are my forwards. So my 20-inch steering wheel, Mr. Examiner, I have no more than 2 inches of play. And this is my city horn, highway horn. Okay, so now, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to do a tug roll. It's a tug test. I'm going to do a tug test on my trailer, and my tractor. So we're going to put it in low gear. Okay, and I'm going to test my trailer. So I'm going to push in my tractor. I'm going to ever so gently come off my clutch, give it a few tugs. Okay. Now I'm gonna do my tractor. So I'm gonna push in my trailer, leave my tractor out, and do the same thing on that. One and 2 tugs. Okay, so now, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to do a service brake check, a 5-mile-an-hour service stop test. So I'm going to keep it in low gear. I'm going to push in both my brakes, and I'm going to go 5 miles an hour, and I'm going to hover my hands on top of my steering wheel. Move out the way! Move out the way. I'm gonna do a 5-mile-an-hour brake check.
Okay.
No, because I don't wanna. Okay, so I'm in low gear, pushing both my brakes. I'm gonna hover my hands on top of the steering wheel as I go 5 miles an hour. Watch it go 5 miles an hour. Boom. Clutch. Stop. Oh man, and our fucking shit is over. Anyways,
I told you.
so all right, Mr. Examiner, my steering wheel didn't pull to the left or to the right, which indicates that my brakes are in alignment. So I'm just gonna reverse it real quick. Examiner, I'm gonna build my air pressure back up, and I'm gonna get my second governor cut out, so that way I can start my 3-step air brake test. Mr. Examiner, that was my second governor cutout. It came out between 120 and 140 psi. Now I'm ready to do my 3-step air brake test. All right, guys. This is where you have to get this shit all in sequence. Nothing off, all in sequence. So I'm gonna give you guys 5 pre-steps before you guys do your 3-step air brake test. Okay? 1, clutch, low gear. Okay? 2, turn this off. Leave your hand on it. Okay?
Leave your hand on?
Leave your hand on it because I don't want you to forget. 3, take your foot off the clutch. 4, turn it back on. Just one click. ABS light came off. ABS light goes off. So did my DEF. Fifth and final one is push both your brakes in. If you're in gear, you don't move. Okay? So you let it settle down. Okay? Now you're about to do your 3-step air brake test. Okay? Your first one is going to be your application leak test. Okay? So, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to do my my leak test. And I shouldn't lose no more than 4 PSI is 60 seconds on a combination vehicle. Okay? So, I'm going to apply pressure on my service brake and I'm going to let it settle. Alright, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to start at 80. Boom. Start right now. Boom. Alright. 60 seconds is up. Take your foot off the brakes. Alright, Mr. Examiner. My 60 seconds is up. I didn't lose any PSI within 60 seconds on a combination vehicle. So that test was a success. Now I'm going to do my low air warning light and buzzer test.
Okay.
My low air warning light and buzzer should come on when about 60 PSI to 55, and my light and buzzer should come on. So I'm gonna fan my brakes now. Boom. You don't stop pushing those brakes unless you see both of those come on.
Okay, both of them. Okay.
You understand?
Yep.
Okay, so boom. All right, my low air warning light and buzzer came on. See, and you hear that thing?
Yeah.
Okay, about 60 PSI. So that test is a success. Now I'm gonna do my emergency pop-out test. All right, I'm gonna keep fanning my brakes until about 20 and 40 PSI. Between 20 and 40 PSI, my pop-out should come out. So I'm gonna keep fanning my brakes now. Boom, they both popped out between 20 and 40 PSI, and that test is a success. Now I'm gonna do another safe start and build my air pressure back up and get a third governor cutout. So we turn this off. Okay? Boom, clutch. Make sure you put this in neutral because it's still in gear. Boom. Turn it back on, let it cycle. ABS light came on, came off. Boom. Turn it on. Now you're gonna build your air pressure. Okay? Now during this time, it's gonna take a while. During this time, you can actually go back and see what if you missed anything and whatnot. You can say whatever it is that you missed. Okay? You still get the point for it. But during those 3-step air brake tests, you cannot get nothing out of sequence. Anything out of sequence will be considered an autofill. So that whole entire thing is the most important thing in this ACAB inspection. Okay? So I'm not missing anything that I'm forgetting anything.
Okay. So why do we check the heater, the closet, and not the air conditioner?
Because that's what they want to fucking see.
Because we don't fucking heater state. We don't fucking need a fucking heater close in Nevada. So I want to
Not in Nevada.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you go up north,
Oh, okay. So what's the top test for? The top thing. What's it
make sure that it works. Your brakes.
Oh, so
That's what those are for. This is for your trailer. This is for your tractor.
So when you took it, it shouldn't move.
When you tugged it, when you tugged it, it doesn't move.
Oh, okay. I wonder what we're checking for.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're checking for. third and final governor cutout, and this concludes my in-cab inspection.
Now I'm going myself.
Now would you accompany me to go do my outside pre-trip? Okay, so there's a little note, okay? It's a little note. Now, let's say for example you're doing your 3-step air brake test, right? So I'm gonna do it right now, okay? And I'm gonna purposely forget something, and I want you guys to tell me what it is that I forget. Okay? All right, Mr. Examiner. Now I'm gonna do my my 3-step air brake
Took
test.
his key hand off the key.
I'm gonna do my 3-step air brake test. Okay. Now I'm gonna fan my brakes down, or I'm gonna do an air leak test, which is I'm gonna hold my service brake down, and within 60 seconds I should lose no more than 4 psi on a combination vehicle. So I'm gonna apply some pressure and do it now. Okay, I'm gonna let it settle. Okay, I'm at 100. Boom. All right, Mr. Examiner, I'm still at 100 and my 60 seconds is up. I didn't lose any PSI, so this test is a success. Now I'm gonna do my my low air warning light and buzzer test. Okay, boom. I just remembered and I forgot to fucking push in my brakes. Boom. Okay, so Mr. Examiner, I forgot something. Can I start this over? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna start it all over. So boom, when you catch yourself, when you start it all over, you start it all the way from the beginning.
From the beginning.
So what's the beginning?
The safe start.
What's the
Safe
beginning?
start.
Oh, entering and
No. You already did all that. You're gonna
you
do
brake
this
in.
3-step air brake test.
You push
So
your brake in.
So you put
I'll
the
show you.
truck in neutral.
I'll tell you guys what it is. Okay, so you put it back in neutral. Okay,
Yeah.
turn it off. Turn it back on. ABS light came on. ABS light goes off.
You have to tell
okay?
them every time the ABS on. You have to tell them every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom. Starting. Okay, and it starts by building your air pressure. You
Yeah.
have to get that first governor. You have to get that governor cut
Cut
off.
off.
Otherwise, you won't be able to do your service air brake test properly.
Yeah, because you got
Okay.
less air.
Because you have to have proper air in your air system, in your brake system. Okay, so make sure if you guys catch yourself, okay, you start it all the way from the beginning. That's the only way you're gonna be able to do it properly.
that was the
And
first
not
one, right?
auto fail. Okay? So anywhere between, any of your air brake tests, you forget something and you messed up.
You start from the beginning. I'm
Start
starting
from
your
the beginning.
pressure back.
Okay? You start from the beginning, put it in neutral, boom. Do another safe start, build your air pressure, and then from there, do it all over again. Okay? So let's do it. And I'm gonna show you guys another one. Mr. Examiner, my governor came out between 120 and 140 psi. Now I'm gonna do my 3-step air brake test. Okay. So clutch in, low gear. Truck off. I'll put off the clutch. Turn it back on. ABS light came on. ABS light goes off. So I did my DEF. And I'm pushing my air brakes. Pushing my knobs. It's the 5th and final step. Okay. Now we're gonna do what I call the application leak test. So I'm gonna application leak test. So I'm gonna put some pressure, apply pressure on my brakes, and I shouldn't lose no more than 4 psi on a combination vehicle in 60 seconds. So I'm gonna do that now. brakes. Okay, I'm at 80 psi. You tell them you're starting at 80 psi. Okay. You tell them you're starting at 80 psi. Okay, you got your timer ready. I got mine's ready. Boom. You guys do it at the same time. Okay. Make sure. Now I'm telling you right now. You see where she is? That's exactly where the examiner is going to be to make sure you don't lose any. And if you do lose more than 4 psi in 60 seconds, boom, you're going to tell the examiner, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Examiner, I lost more than 4 psi in 60 seconds on my combination vehicle. So this test failed and the truck failed. So now I'm going to have to get it serviced.
Okay.
So would you like me to continue my air brake test?
Okay.
Okay. And usually from there, it's done. You didn't fail, but the truck did. But as long as you caught that right there, you passed your test.
Oh, if I got that, I pass the test.
If look, I'm telling you right now, the trucks you guys are gonna be testing in is not gonna fucking fail.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not gonna fail.
If it fails, I don't have to do the whole thing.
It's not. Well, actually, it's only the end cap. You still have to do your pre-trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you gotta do it. You want us to do the end cap.
In cap first. In cap first. Okay. Because this is like this
see
right
that
here.
red,
You
so
don't
much
want to forget none of this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the shit you don't want to forget. Okay. I got a very good fucking feeling of you guys getting the whole entire pre-trip. This is nothing. Really, this is really fucking nothing. Okay, so boom, if you guys catch it, okay, or even if it goes down a little, you're gonna be like, all right, I started at 80, now I'm at 78. I lost 2 psi's in 60 seconds, so this is still a success. Boom. Then you do your low air warning light and buzzer test. Boom, pat it down. Boom, came on about my low air warning light and buzzer came on about 60 psi. That test is a success. Now I'm gonna fan my brakes down so I can do my pop out, and they should pop out between 20 and 40 psi. I'm gonna fan it now. Boom, they both popped out between one. They both popped out between 20 and 40 psi. That test is a success. Now I'm gonna do my third and final governor cutout, and I'm gonna do another safe start.
Safe start. Okay.
That's it. You guys could simulate this shit in your car. Like seriously, you guys could simulate it while sitting down. Really nothing. So, boom, put this back in neutral, turn it off, clutch in, turn it back on, let your gauges cycle, ABS light came on, ABS light goes off. Boom. That's it. Wait until you get the governor cut out, and then you tell them this concludes my in-cab inspection. That's it. Boom. Go outside. Make sure before you even go outside, turn this all the way to the left.
Yes, so that way you will inspect the whole thing.
So that way you guys will be able to show and inspect that whole entire thing, and then you can show them, hey, you know what the fuck you're talking about. Boom. Other than that, that's it.
Got that?